You know, when you walk into a massive sports bar on game day and there are like 50 TVs playing 10 different games perfectly in sync, you don't really think about it. It just looks like magic.
Yeah, it's designed to look effortless. We just expect the video to be crisp and the audio to be perfectly timed.
Right, but if you've ever peeked into the AV closet in the back room,
Yeah.
it is actually terrifying. Usually it's this total rat's nest of blinking lights and tangled cables.
Oh, absolutely. It always looks like it could trigger a complete tech meltdown at any second.
Exactly. So today we are looking at how to avoid that exact rat's nest. Welcome to the Deep Dive, by the way. Our mission today is to unpack a really dense technical spec sheet we have from HDTVSupply.
Yeah, we're specifically looking at the QSC NS40-960 Plus pre-configured Netgear network switch.
And the Wolfpack matrix switchers, right. The goal here is to shortcut all that jargon for you and discover how these massive audio and video networks actually function behind the scenes.
So we can avoid those meltdowns entirely.
Yes. Okay, let's unpack this because finding out how commercial AV systems manage this without crashing is a pretty incredible aha moment.
It really is. And to prevent those meltdowns, we have to start at the very heart of the system, which is that QSC NS40-960 Plus serial.
Yeah.
It's a 40-port enterprise-grade switch, and it has 8 ports capable of handling a massive 10 gigabits of data per second. It's priced at about $6,650.
Which is a beast. But the raw hardware specs aren't actually the real story here, are they?
No, not at all. The real magic is that it comes pre-configured.
Which is huge. I mean, think of a standard network switch, like a chaotic four-way intersection with broken stoplights.
Right, and if you're the IT person, you have to stand right there and manually direct the traffic.
Exactly, so things don't crash.
Mhm.
But this pre-configured switch is like buying a high-performance race car that already has its suspension perfectly tuned for the exact track you were driving.
Yeah, it saves IT staff from an absolute nightmare of troubleshooting.
So the flow is already set up so the different types of data never actually cross paths.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is why this matters so much. In a standard network, if you send a massive uncompressed video file alongside, say, high-fidelity audio, you get a traffic jam.
Oh wow, so the video buffers and the audio lags.
Right. But the switch flawlessly handles intense AV protocols simultaneously, specifically QSYS, AES67, and Dante streams.
Wait, I need to pause you there. If all those massive audio and video streams are hitting the switch at once, how do they not collide?
Well, it uses something called a VLAN, or Virtual Local Area Network.
Okay.
Essentially, the switch creates these distinct, invisible fast lanes for the data.
Uh-huh.
And it does this without anyone ever having to manually adjust the quality of service.
Or QoS, right? I mean, think of QoS like a VIP list that tells the network which data gets priority.
Yeah, exactly. This switch just knows who the VIPs are right out of the box.
Okay, so it handles the data traffic beautifully.
Yeah.
But what about the physical clutter? Because all those devices still need power.
Right.
Do we just have like 100 power cords plugged into surge protectors?
Not at all. Every single port on this switch provides power over Ethernet, or PoE.
Wait, really?
Yeah, delivering up to 30 watts per port.
So you're saying it handles complex video routing and provides power over the exact same cable. How does 30 watts of electricity not interfere with the sensitive data stream?
Well, Ethernet cables have multiple twisted pairs of copper wire inside them. Some pairs carry the data, and others safely carry the electrical current.
Oh, so a single cable powers your AV devices while telling them what to do.
Right. And the intelligent management doesn't stop there.
Let me guess. It manages the network crowding, too.
Yeah.
Like, if a dozen TVs in our sports bar are all trying to pull the exact same live game, doesn't that flood the network?
It would, but that's where the brain of the switch kicks in. It uses a built-in feature called IGMP+ to essentially clone the single video stream only for the specific TVs asking for it.
Oh, so rather than flooding the entire system.
Exactly. Plus, there's an optional built-in DHCP server. It basically acts like a maitre d' handing out IP addresses so devices can talk to each other automatically.
So what does this all mean? I mean, if the switch is this beautifully paved, self-governing highway, who is actually directing the traffic to make sure the right game goes to the right TV?
That brings us to the actual traffic directors of the operation, the HDMI matrix switchers, specifically the Wolfpack ecosystem.
Right. Looking at the documentation, these switchers basically fall into two camps, fixed and modular.
Yes.
The fixed units are single chassis, plug-and-play boxes. Things like a 4x4 or an 8x8 setup, meaning 4 inputs to 4 outputs.
Exactly. And the modular units use swappable I/O cards, meaning they can scale all the way up to a massive 160 by 160 matrix.
Which makes me wonder, if modular units are so incredibly expandable, why would anyone lock themselves into a fixed unit?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really comes down to knowing your venue.
Okay.
Fixed units are much simpler and lower cost. They are absolutely perfect for static setups.
Like a sports bar that knows it will only ever need to route 16 sources to 16 TVs?
Yeah, they can just grab a Woolapack fixed 16 by 16 switcher, plug it in, and they are done.
And some of those fixed units can push the signal up to 450 feet away over a standard CT6 cable. So there is no need to pay for expandability you will never use.
Exactly. By combining these pre-configured network switches with the right fixed or modular matrix routers, what used to be a terrifying IT nightmare turns into a smooth plug-and-play operation.
It really takes the chaos out of massive AV deployments.
It really does. It respects your time and your sanity.
Which leaves you with an interesting question to ponder as we wrap up.
Yeah.
We started by picturing that terrifying rat's nest of cables.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at a system where devices are getting so smart they draw power, distribute complex multi-protocol data, and route high-def video over a single cable without any manual configuration.
Right.
So if the hardware is arriving perfectly optimized to direct traffic out of the box, will the traditional role of manual IT setup for AV systems eventually become completely obsolete?